of that mega platinum album. And then they'll be playing all the other Black Crow songs you love, too. Next summer, they're going to be here to play Blossom on Tuesday, August the 18th. The tickets are on sale for the show, livenation.com for that. You can get this pair now by being caller number 12. Good luck. I'll see you there. 2 for the Black Crows. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
He's looking for people who like to laugh.
How you doing?
Just so he can see their disappointment.
Aww.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Alan, I see why you keep Poundcake around. He's got some pretty interesting positions on some
It's my favorite thing.
That's all I require.
That's why I bring stuff up, because I know that when we get into it, Poundcake is going to hit us with something that just makes my day. And the stained tooth and the duty tooth is so funny.
We're just in here panning for gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy from Costco hit me up on Instagram at Bill Squire.
The jacked Costco manager hit you up?
Not a manager. He works stock in the morning. So it is like a part-time job for
Okay.
him. So, yeah.
So he's normally not out in the aisles. He's usually in back. You caught like a rare sighting in the store?
I mean, because the way Costco works, there's not really a back. I mean, there's like the port where they deliver everything, but everything gets out on the floor.
Oh, they bring
quickly.
it right in?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So that's why, that's what he's doing in the morning. But he was just by the cash register and that's why I thought he was a manager.
And what did he say? Did he give you the backstory?
He just said that, I work there in the mornings. Next time you're in, say hi.
What's his name?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say how old he is?
No.
He didn't give you any backstory? Like, hey, because he probably didn't hear us talking about him. People who were listening to the show told him, hey, they're talking about you on there.
Yeah, I don't know. But I asked him, got a girl with a duty tooth, and he said no duty tooth. So,
Hashtag duty tooth, by the way, has become a thing. So
Good.
Alan, it's rude to talk like that. Sometimes it's not about looks. I'm not pretty, but my husband is a 10, and I would hate to hear what people say about us.
They probably talk about you.
No, but I wrote her back. I texted, this was a text in the break, and I wrote her back, and I said, yeah, but it starts with looks. Mm-hmm. Right? And that might not stay that way. It starts with looks. So how did you guys hook up? And she's like, we just started out talking. He thinks I'm pretty, but I don't. So it's one of those things.
Yeah,
so that doesn't mean you're not pretty. It means you don't think you're pretty.
You don't know you're beautiful.
And it also, your husband might not think he's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get somebody who's just insecure enough. Right, Poundcake?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you got that duty tooth fixed.
That's expensive.
You move up,
you can't just remove a tooth, especially if it's dead. It's sitting there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like a tombstone.
It's sitting there for a reason. Here lies a former active nerve. Here lies a tooth that used to be.
Oh, goddamn.
I understand why people hate me.
But dental care is expensive.
I got tweets, people saying I'm so shallow and this is why I can't keep a man and yada, 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 whatever. Y'all mad. Go see a dentist.
No, this is one of my favorite segments you've ever participated in.
Okay.
Stained tooth into duty tooth.
I just see that quite often. It's just something that I stare at because I'm like, immediately I'm jealous. It comes from jealousy. Let's just be honest. Me, I see they have a super hot boyfriend or husband, and I'm like, how'd you get that? And I just start dissecting their entire body, their outfit, their hair, everything, and I see, oh, stand on your tooth. But everything else, you're probably fine. Probably have a great personality.
You find
sharp as a tack.
You find the soft underbelly and you jab it. You find the soft spot.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why he's a Trump guy.
Yeah.
You find the soft spot and then you mock it and tweak it.
I jab and twist.
Jab and twist. He does.
That's all. I'm just jealous.
Yeah, but when it comes to like somebody getting jacked or working out, like you could do that.
No, I can, but I'm saying I don't have a man like that. So even if I get wrapped in super hot. That doesn't mean, like, people always say, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but they always look like Dory from Finding
Nemo?
Yeah, I never get any hot fish. Like, I don't feel like that's around here. That's not in this pond. I got to
Sure,
jump
your
somewhere
exes
else.
would be very pleased to hear that.
That's why they're exes.
You didn't dump them because they weren't hot enough for you.
No, that's not true.
Of course not.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying I don't have a good... I don't have a lot of options around here.
I was gonna say, you don't have a good soul.
No, not at all.
You're saying for who you are, The pool is as shallow as you are, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, yes, but if I get ripped and jacked, the same people are still around here. So if
So you're saying why waste it on them?
exactly. So you don't think else, so I get another pond?
But you're like I said before.
Aren't there ripped and jacked gays in this area?
Yes, but they all are already with each other, or they'll bang you.
They're all
but
taken.
They don't want a relationship with you.
Well,
What I'm
maybe
saying
if you
is
get
you
ripped and jacked, you'll be up in, and they'll be like, well, maybe I will get in a relationship now.
You've got to prepare for the future. Mm-hmm. You can't go somewhere new and then start working out.
No, I will get.
You got to be locked and loaded.
I'm getting secret hot right now because it's winter, and then by spring,
That's smart.
I'll be super hot.
That's smart. That's what I'm doing because we got a wedding in Jamaica in April.
Starts with my diet. I'm on my diet right now.
And what date is that, so we can be prepared?
Mm-hmm.
For the wedding?
Yeah.
So I cannot come in that day.
Oh yeah. We'll be gone. We will be gone the 23rd of April through the 20. We'll be back the 29th.
Okay.
So almost a week. 23rd through the 28th of April, 2020.
Vacation 2020.
We'll be in Jamaica for a wedding.
Yeah, no. I'm not about to waste my hot body on Cleveland. Kidding me? You can only be like shirtless a few months out of the year.
Yeah, but if you're with someone, you can be shirtless all the time.
I want no, because I got
So
other
you don't want
options
to.
now.
So you don't want to do it just for your general health.
General health.
No, absolutely not. Only
All right.
23rd through what?
The 28th. We'll be
Okay.
back on the air the 29th.
ripped hot gays only get hot for other ripped hot gays. Like, they don't want to waste it on us plebes. Like, you swim and you are on the bottom,
Please. Well, that's where you want to be.
but not fish at the bottom.
Alan, one of the bullies at my high school is getting married to a smoking hot lady. Joke's on her, though. Her parents don't approve. Wait, what? Parents don't approve of her being gay, so they won't be at the wedding? One of my bullies in high school is getting married to a smoking lady. They're both girls?
It sounds like it.
I guess I think of bullies as being guys. I know there's girl bullies, too, but...
Yeah, Alan, it's 2019. Girls can be
Sorry.
bullies. I was watching.
Girls can be anything they want to be. They can be just as awful as men.
This clip is probably from like 2011, but there's a old Onion video where they're talking about the first female dictator.
Yeah.
And what a boon for women that is, and it's so funny.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I'll forget about the Onion, and then I'll go back, and I'll go, God, it's still
good, man.
Now, it is harder to make real life more absurd, but they still do a good job.
They have some great stuff, and some of those old videos that, like, just they're kind of timeless. That one's great. The one where the kid wears a shirt in the pool so people don't know he's fat. One of my favorite interviews ever. It's so funny.
Trump tries to dox impeachment inquiry by tweeting address of Capitol building. There you go. See, that sounds like something that could actually happen in real life. Cory Booker taken aback to find dozens of pictures of himself on Buttigieg campaign flyers. Yeah. Oh, I heard from Joe in Philly, by the way. He DM'd me. If you are one of our bureau chiefs outside of Ohio who listen on the iHeartRadio app, let me know where you are. Joe in Philly calls in pretty frequently. Mike is in New Philadelphia, Ohio. It's New Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In Ohio. Alicia listens in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Bushman's out in Denver. Steve's in Currituck, North Carolina. We got people all over. Joe in Philly pointed me to Philadelphia has been named the best city to visit in 2020.
Oh, maybe I'll go to Philly while you're in Jamaica.
There you go.
I won't.
I went to Philly years ago for like a day. And it's a big city, and I didn't really know my way around, so wherever I landed was kind of appropriately grimy and had fun, but I didn't really get a good vibe for, Philly. But
I have a pretty funny Philly story.
Cleveland kind of gets honorable mention in this whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Because National Geographic is going, here are the cities to visit. Philadelphia is at the very top, obviously because there's so much history. You go overseas, that's where real history is. But over here, our history, it's engrossing. So Philly's at the top of the list, but they also said, think of cities like Detroit, Cleveland, and Cincinnati to visit next year. Post-industrial cities that are reinventing themselves.
On the come up.
There you go. On the come up. What's your Philly story?
So there's an old radio show called Opie and Anthony, and
Yep.
they used to do a contest called the Car Crash Comedy Contest. And
Didn't you win that, Bill?
I did win that
Wow.
a few years later,
Uh-huh.
but I entered it a few times.
Oh, I see.
So-
You didn't win it the first time you entered.
No, the first time I entered, I had just moved to New York.
Uh-huh.
And I just missed the cutoff to be at the New York show that they were doing. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go to the Philly show.
Wait, so they would do their show live from different cities and have people.
They do like a live event where they're going like they're in like a rock venue. I can't even remember what it's called. This is probably 2008. And I moved to New York, and within like 2 days I go to Philly. I take the train to Philly. I get there at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm one of the first people in line to sign up for this contest, and because I'm first, like I'm the first one to go out, and I didn't get to see what everybody else was going to do. And I'm very cocky.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to win this, and then it's just going to take my career to the next level.
This was the first time you did it.
It's a great stepping stone to get me in, like, you know,
Next level of your career.
to get people in New York to know who I am, all this stuff. And I walk out to a packed room of not just Philly fans, but Opie and Anthony Philly fans.
Right.
They were not kind.
No.
They were very mean.
Everybody's
And
seen
I
the
go
Bill
out-
Burr
Yeah.
clip by now.
Yeah, and that happened that night because they were doing like their
Oh, it
virus
did?
tour. Yeah.
Okay.
So that happened like that night, I think, or maybe that happened the year before. I don't remember exactly, but I went up there, and oh man, I told like
It did not take you to the next level of your
I
career.
started to talk, and just as soon as I started talking, they were just screaming at me, and it just took the wind right out of me. And I got through my set, but it was real bad, and I was so depressed by that instead of like staying and hanging out and like just
Got the hell
soaking
out of
it in,
there?
You got back on the train.
I got back on the train, paid for the extra fast one, the Acela, and was home in New York in my apartment before the Opie and Anthony show was even over.
Oh, yeah, because it's a quick trip.
Right. Like
Are you saying boo or boo-earns?
How
But
fast?
man, that was like devastating to me because I was like, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna kill, and it's gonna be great. But then it was totally. It was a nice little kick in the butt, though. You need that when you're a younger comic to
Humble you.
humble you a bit.
How fast is the train? Like, how long is the trip from Philly to New York?
Usually, like my trip there was like 3 hours, but I paid for the one that was like,
An hour and a half?
yeah,
Express.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's half the time. Jeez.
Yeah.
You were really depressed.
yeah. I
You're
was like,
I just want
need
to
to get
home.
home to a safe place and feel okay again.
Damn.
But a few years later, I did win that contest. So
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
New York was his safe place.
right.
Alan, I have a yellow stained tooth as a result of medication I was given as a kid for an infection.
See, here we
and
go.
now Poundcake has made me very insecure.
See?
But you don't have a duty tooth. Hashtag duty tooth.
Yeah, P tooth.
Yeah, but do you have a super hot husband? Because you're not doing him a disservice then.
So as long as you're with someone that's on your level, it's fine.
You're fine.
You just don't want
He can't
someone.
say
You don't
anything.
want someone beautiful being dragged down
Exactly.
by a duty tooth.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, you're going to make fun of my duty tooth? Okay. Well, what about your stretch mark? You never had a kid. Why do you have stretch marks? Fat ass. Like, there you go.
Cellulite.
There
You gotta
go.
love them stretch marks.
Yeah. So you're even. So no, don't let anybody pick on you for your tooth. Like, pick them apart. People pick me apart all the time.
I was reading an article about how doctors are telling mothers not to gain too much weight because obese women have fatter vaginas, and
that a bad thing?
it makes childbirth harder.
Oh. But men don't like that?
What, fatter vaginas?
Like a fat vagina?
Well, they're talking about like on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, if you're obese or you gain too much weight, Some women treat childbirth like it's an excuse to eat everything, and
I've
then they're
seen-
like, "Oh, I gained 75 pounds," and that's not healthy.
I've seen a couple women in my life where I did not you could not tell that they were pregnant. They were just
They
fat.
might not have even known they were pregnant.
Or they knew they were pregnant because.
Wasn't there just like an Instagram model or something that didn't know she was pregnant?
But this
When
wasn't.
she farted out a baby?
Something like that.
I don't
yeah.
know, but if she was an Instagram model, I'm guessing she was probably skinny. I'm talking about I know people in my life.
There's
that,
a whole show about I didn't know I was pregnant.
I know, but then again, they're not saying that these are obese people. These are saying, "Oops, accidental pregnancy, and I didn't pay attention or I didn't care." But
I pulled a full-on rookie move a couple of Corona cruises ago.
Oh, yeah.
I told the story at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Some listeners brought a couple of friends from Jersey, and I said to the woman, because I thought it wasn't even out of the blue, I'm just introducing myself to these people, and I thought for sure that I had heard someone else in their group allude to a pregnancy. But then, and I took that as her, but clearly they were talking about someone else, and I go, "Oh, when are you due?" And she goes, "I'm not pregnant." And I'm like, "I will see myself out." And
I mean, what do you,
proceeded to
do
jump over the rail and
how
into
did you
the
back out of that? What did you say to her?
Oh, that's
like
funny.
Homer into the bushes.
Yeah.
I jumped over the rail and into the mighty Cuyahoga River. In my mind.
I never say that, but no.
No, I kind of joked my way out of it, as best I could. I'm sure she thought I was a full-on douche. But I was like, oh, my God, I thought that I
You have
heard.
that duty tooth of a personality.
I guess so. I'm sure that's the impression she was left with. Alan, I remember hearing Bill on delay here in Cleveland on O&A.
It's not good.
There you go.
But won it a few years later. Mm-hmm. A little redemption.
Alan, I just left the Army back in July after 6 years. I immediately stopped working out, and now I regret it. Well, you can always start again. That's the beauty of it. You can always start again. You can't necessarily fix if you're ugly, because that's expensive, and you might never get what you want, right? It's real hard to fix if you're stupid, because that's something you got to kind of get to early. But if you don't like the shape that your body is in, you can do that. And especially if you were in the military, like you kind of know the steps,
And you have nothing else to do, really, besides defend our country. Like when you're back in the barracks, just pumping iron.
Yeah, but he's not in the military anymore.
I'm saying, but you know the steps.
Do you
when
think they're
work.
just hanging around pumping iron in the barracks?
No, it's my fantasy.
I was going to say, this is like his Army porn
Yeah.
fantasy.
He's like, giving each other piggyback
Anybody
rides.
need any
Yeah.
soldier accompaniment? That's my job. What do they send you over here to do?
Yeah.
Keep y'all company.
He is at attention.
Oh, you need to clean the barrel of this gun? Well, not the barrel of the gun.
Right. All right. But here, well, let's act that out.
Got him in the shin.
Yeah, in the Army now.
I just wanted to love you.
Alan, my wife's cousin, was so fat she didn't know she was pregnant. Ended up with an autistic child that me and my wife raised. How did that happen? How did you end up raising? Wife's cousin.
Oh.
Whatever. Still, crazy. Hey, there's Joe in Philly.
Yo, what up, guys?
I was just talking
Hey,
about
Joe.
this story that you sent me.
Yeah, what's wrong with Philly being the number one place to visit? It's the birthplace of America, punk.
That's what I was saying. That like
thought
when
Boston was.
Well, no, when it comes, well, it's in there, but I mean, Philly is the birthplace of American history. So it's
Yeah, I lived right in Old City, and it was like tourist destination, or one of the tourist destinations, and like the summers are just slammed.
well, yeah,
With
and also
bus
people who
tours.
don't care about history are still going up to that stupid Rocky statue.
Honestly, it's very cheap. I'm more annoyed that they moved it to the bottom of the steps than the top of the steps, because at least at the top of the steps, you could get up there. I mean, I'm fairly active. You get up there pretty easily, and you could just stand there, take your pictures, but then stare at all of the fat people trying to get up those damn steps.
But I didn't know they moved it. That was the whole bit. Is you're
Right.
supposed to run up the steps.
That's like Rocky.
Yeah, they moved it.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
going to that
exactly.
city
And then-
anymore.
Then you got Jim Bob visiting from Virginia, smoking a pack a day, being like, all right, I'll meet you at the top, and it's just like breaks an ankle. So
Wow,
then-
talk about capitulating to the tourists. I didn't know
weak
that.
bones.
Yeah, but even if it takes you a while to get up there, I mean, nobody's going to film you taking 5 minutes to get up there, but I didn't know
Yeah,
they
but
moved it.
I enjoy judging people from the top. That's really my thing. That's the joy I get out of it.
That's what you do on weekends when you got a couple of extra minutes.
Yeah, and only when Bill visits I will just call him the biggest hack ever. He's the biggest loser. Go back to Cleveland.
There you go. He's got. I think
Scoop all
he's,
your brains out of a gun and just spray bullets through here. We'll scoop up all your brain matter.
Oh,
What's the
yeah.
Bill Burr thing? He's like, yeah, we'll have like an ounce or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he went off.
Oh, it's
that
one
was
of the best,
hilarious.
yeah.
I don't blame him. We suck.
Well, Bill's doing a gig at the King of Prussia Mall, aren't you, Bill?
No, I got nothing
Oh,
scheduled.
all right. Well,
I'm gonna go someplace warm.
Hope springs eternal. All right, thank you, Joe. Congratulations.
Yeah, be safe.
All right, there's Joe in Philadelphia, which got
Can you
named
ask-
the #1 city to visit in 2020.
So your friend,
Cleveland gets an honorable mention.
your friend's getting married in in April.
April.
Can you ask them to move the wedding to October, and then that way we can take a break at the same time, and I can go on the Coheed and Cambria.
I was going to talk to you about that
Yeah.
over Halloween.
Yeah.
No, because we have a wedding in Denver in October.
Is that one?
I doubt they're having it over Halloween.
No, it's not Halloween. It's like the 20th or something.
No, I think it's a couple days. I thought it was the 28th through the 30th.
No, I don't think
The
so.
Coheed cruise?
No, I don't think so.
I think they might be getting married in September.
A cruise?
We're traveling a lot next
Mm-hmm.
year. But I'll look. How about if I look for you
All
in the
right,
break?
do that.
All right, good.
Because if it times up,
Sure.
then I will definitely go on that cruise.
Bill on the Coheed cruise.
Yeah.
All right, you want to text me 35192. I will have Bill Squire Christmas Kwanzaa tickets for you. A big show he's doing on the 29th of December at the Agora. And we'll get